The silent courtroom. The courtroom was cold, but the air felt even heavier because of the sharp, mocking laughter echoing from the benches behind me. It was my husband's family. They sat there in their expensive designer clothes, looking at me as if I were nothing more than a minor inconvenience they were about to brush away. My husband, Julian, sat next to his high-powered, expensive lawyer, a smug smile plastered across his face. When the judge asked where my legal counsel was, I took a deep breath, stood up straight, and replied, "I am representing myself, Your Honor." That was the moment his family lost all control. His mother snickered loudly into her silk handkerchief, and his sister whispered something that made the whole row chuckle. To them, I was just a naive girl from a humble background whom Julian had lifted out of obscurity. They honestly believed that without a fancy law firm behind me, I would be crushed within minutes. Julian's lawyer even offered a patronizing smile, as if pitying my desperation. They thought they had already won everything: the house, the savings, and most importantly, custody of my 7-year-old daughter, Lily. For months leading up to this day, Julian had drained our joint accounts, hidden his true income, and painted me as an unstable, unfit mother to everyone we knew. He had the money, the influence, and a legal team that cost more than my entire family made in a year. What he didn't realize, however, was that arrogance makes people careless. While they were busy celebrating their guaranteed victory, I was quietly doing my homework. I spent every single night in the small hours, buried under mountains of financial law books, bank statements, and digital footprints. The judge rapped her gavel, demanding order, and the laughter in the room slowly died down, though the smug smirks remained. Julian's lawyer stood up first. With practiced eloquence, he delivered a flawless opening speech, presenting Julian as a hardworking, devoted father and a victim of a failing marriage. He submitted financial records showing that Julian's business was struggling, claiming there was barely any money left to divide, and argued that I lacked the financial stability to provide for our daughter. When it was my turn to speak, the courtroom fell into a heavy, expectant silence. Julian's mother leaned forward, eager to watch me stumble over my words. I didn't tremble. I didn't cry. Instead, I walked calmly to the presenter's podium and opened my worn, black binder. "Your Honor," I began, my voice clear and steady, echoing through the room. "The opposition has presented a narrative built on a foundation of carefully constructed lies. They claim financial hardship. However, I would like to submit Exhibit A." I handed a stack of documents to the bailiff to pass to the judge, while projecting the digital copies onto the courtroom screen. "These are the certified forensic accounting records of a shell company registered in the Cayman Islands under Julian's sister's name," I stated smoothly. Julian's sister instantly froze, her smile vanishing. Over the past 14 months, Julian has systematically transferred over $2 million of marital assets into this account. Furthermore, here are the geo-tagged photos and receipts from a luxury estate Julian purchased in Italy just 3 weeks ago, a property he claimed under oath today that he knew nothing about. The atmosphere in the room shifted instantly. The smug smile on Julian's face completely evaporated. His lawyer aggressively stood up to object, claiming these documents were unverified, but I was already prepared. "These documents are fully verified, Your Honor," I countered, looking directly at the judge. "They were subpoenaed directly from the international banking server where Julian carelessly logged in using our home IP address, an address registered in my name." The judge leaned forward, her eyes narrowing as she scrutinized the evidence. The silence from Julian's family's side was now absolute. The whispering had stopped. The snickering was gone. You could have dropped a pin and heard it ring across the marble floor. But I wasn't done. "Regarding the custody of our daughter," I continued, turning to look Julian dead in the eye. "The defense claims I am unstable. Yet, here are the authenticated text messages and audio recordings from Julian's own phone, retrieved from our shared cloud network before he changed the passwords. In these recordings, Julian explicitly states to his mother, and I quote, "I don't care about the kid, I just want to break her spirit by taking her away." An audible gasp left the court reporter's mouth. Julian's mother turned incredibly pale, looking down at her hands, completely unable to meet anyone's gaze. Julian's lawyer slowly sat back down, his face grim. He knew, right then and there, that the case was completely lost. For the next 2 hours, the courtroom belonged entirely to me. I laid out every single hidden asset, every lie, and every piece of manipulation with absolute precision. The family that had walked into the courtroom laughing like royalty was now sitting entirely frozen, completely stripped of their arrogance. When the judge finally delivered her ruling, it was a total victory. I was awarded full custody of Lily, the house, and a massive settlement that reflected Julian's true wealth, along with heavy legal penalties for his attempt to defraud the court. As I packed up my black binder, I looked back at the gallery. My husband's family sat in total, stunned silence, staring blankly at the floor. They had thought my lack of a lawyer meant I lacked power. They learned the hard way that a mother protecting her child, armed with the truth and unstoppable determination, is the most powerful force in any room. I walked out of that courtroom into the bright afternoon sun, finally free, leaving their silence behind me.